Wow, this World Cup continues to dish out one thriller after the another. Such a game it has turned out to be. However, much to the agony of the Bangladeshi fans, it is Team India ultimately who got the last laugh, who go to the top of the points table of Group 2, bagging two crucial points and ensuring themselves just one more step to claim the final semi-final spot. This is the pre-match show of this very important clash between India and Bangladesh. And I, the Mini Basque, on behalf of Rev Sports, I'm absolutely delighted to be joined and to welcome my panelists, Norman Kochanek, Shubhan Chakravarti, and Joydeep Mukherjee. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining for some discussion. Norman, we'll begin straight away with you. First of all, give us some live updates and what do you have to say about this win by India?
Well, it was amazing. It was an amazing effort. The Duckworth Little system actually went completely against Bangladesh. They were in ascendancy at the break. The rain hit. Then Bangladesh had it all to do. Quite frankly, it was unassailable. They tried their best. They lost up to 6 odd wickets. Basically, they imploded in the end. India held their nerve and won up to the last ball there. Who knows what could happen in that last over? It could well have been that Bangladesh still could pull a win out of that victory there, but unfortunately not. India certainly deserved their efforts. They came back very well. They bowled particularly well. Pandya was impressive. Arshdeep Singh was also impressive. All round, Indian bowlers held their nerve and did very well, considering they're up against it.
Absolutely. And the same goes for Joydeep Mukherjee and Shubhan Chakravarti as well. I would request both of you also to give your thoughts about India yet again grabbing a last ball thriller. First, Joydeep Da.
Yeah, I think this was always India's game. I think it was only a special innings by Leighton that made it possible. Once Leighton got out, this was only going one way, which was a little bit of hitting at the end, but still it was in control. I don't think even they got a 6, we would have got a super over. They wouldn't have lost the match. So I think India, all around good performance. The rain got the better of them. Suddenly the rain came at a time when Leighton had played. So the asking rate changed in favor of Bangladesh. All that happened. But special enough from Leighton because it's not easy to play in these conditions where people like Rohit and everybody else has struggled. Even KL, Virat, his knock was the best of the day. And against an Indian attack, with the Indian batters in the fray, to say that he batted better than anybody else in both the teams is very, very commendable.
Absolutely. And finally, Shubhan, your thoughts?
I think the rain break took the momentum away from Bangladesh. I think, and Shakib during the break was seen having a discussion with umpire Marais Erasmus, and he looked a bit agitated, because the ground was wet, and Shakib felt that it was too wet. Joydeep Da is on mute.
Yeah, Joydeep Da, you're on mute. Oh, okay.
Okay. Anyway, So what I was saying, what I was saying, Shakib looked a bit agitated there, and rightly so. I mean, the pitch, the covers were on, and the outfield was wet, and the umpires, I felt rushed it a bit, but that is all how the rules play out. We can't complain much. We had a great game to watch, and credit to Bangladesh, as Joydeep Da also said, Leighton Das played a special knock today.
Absolutely. And can we just divide this game into for the second innings, a part 1 and a part 2? The part 1 before the rain and part 2 after the rain, how the game and the momentum completely changed. So, Norman, I need you to tell us, Norman, if you can hear us. Yeah,
he's
you're
on mute. He's on mute.
Very difficult
Norman.
here, as you can imagine, hearing anything. Lots of happy people. They're all behind me. They've got their flags waving quite madly. Clearly, India are happy. They're now, I would argue, through to the semi-finals. They've done their best. They've done a great job. Many of the crowd here are a little bit subdued, but they're quite happy. Look, the Bangladeshi team, you've got to give it to them. They started the game off very well. They performed as best they could. India was simply better. And here we go.
Absolutely. Yeah, the crowd is still going berserk behind you. We can see. So, Norman, if you could tell us, what kind of a pitch was it? Would you have expected? Were you happy with the total which Team India had actually posted batting first against Bangladesh today? Norman, did you hear the question?
I didn't hear that question. I'll just continue
Okay,
on with
Norman.
what I just wanted to quickly tell you that I couldn't be in a better place. Adelaide will be crazy tonight. There's so many fans still hanging around. They're not going anywhere. So I think all goes good for Melbourne and then probably a semi-final in Sydney. I think India are specials now. They may be second in their group, but it doesn't matter. They're in a great position. They've done very well.
Yeah.
Norman,
They're still the guarantee.
Norman, wherever in India, Norman, wherever in the world India cricket team plays, there are always people there. You can just land up, no problem.
Norman can't hear us. We can understand. Just take a look at that crowd. They're still going so wild. Joyda, I'll rephrase the question and ask you, Boryada. And in time joins Boryada and Amit. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining. Boryada and Amit, if you can hear us, the sound is deafening, first of all. And please, first of all, give us updates on the surroundings right now. How is the fans' reaction? How are the fans reacting? And what do you have to say about India's win tonight?
Yeah, it was a jailbreak, wasn't it? I mean, both Amit and I, the fans are everywhere. As you can see, people are all trickling there. From this side also, Absolutely. If you can see behind me, fans everywhere. Yeah. This is the bridge that joins Absolutely. The stadium with the rail station on my left, and we've just got to sort of walk now because there'll be no transport. All the roads are blocked. So you've got to walk to the hotel. Fans are delighted. I mean, it was a jailbreak. Joydeep can tell you, this was a match for Bangladesh to lose, and they did. They came under pressure when that rain was happening, and the intensity was growing. All of us had our hearts in our mouth that when on earth is this going to stop? And each time we were thinking it's stopping and the covers are off, the intensity was growing again. And it was a difficult one. That 1 hour or rather 45 odd minutes was very difficult. क्या कहते हो भाई?
जी देखिए एक ऐसा डायलॉग है जो रवि शास्त्री बोला करते थे, वो तो मैं नहीं कहूंगा, लेकिन बारिश जिस तरीके से थी, लग रहा था कि भारत के हाथ से मैच जा रहा है। लेकिन जिस तरीके से बारिश रुकी और उसके बाद हमारे गेंदबाजों ने, सबसे पहले मैं केएल राहुल का एक शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहूंगा, जिस तरीके से एक रनआउट किया। लिटन दास का जो रनआउट था, मेरे हिसाब से वो एक मैच का टर्निंग पॉइंट था। और उसके बाद हरदीप सिंह ने आके 2 विकेट निकाले, मोहम्मद शमी ने 1 विकेट निकाला। एक टीम जो हंटिंग होती है तेज गेंदबाजों की, एक ने दूसरे छोर से विकेट लिया, दूसरा उसको सपोर्ट कर रहा है, कहीं ना कहीं ये जो चीज है वो काम में आई टीम इंडिया की।
Absolutely, और मैं ये भी कहूँगा, आप मेरे पीछे देख सकते हो सारे fans. Everybody is on their way home, Damini. Happy fans, Absolutely. Happy Indian fans. Yes, we can all say Joy Bangla, but that's for India tonight. That Nagin dance, Mama will do that for you guys tonight.
Joy Bangla नहीं हुआ, लेकिन एडिलेड में भांगड़ा जरूर हुआ है, ये बात मैं आपको कहूँगा।
I mean,
क्या बात है?
Everybody in that stadium, trust me, was tense. Everybody was tense, thinking what on earth is going on. But now we are in the semi-finals. A handsome win against Zimbabwe. Wait for that Pakistan-South Africa match. Wait for Australia's result to know whether we are coming back here to Adelaide or we are going to Sydney. In all probability, India will go to Sydney. But today was a jailbreak.
Absolutely. And another one before I shift to Joyda is Boryada and Amit ji, आप दोनों मुझे बताएं कि सेकेंड इनिंग्स को 2 भाग में हम डिवाइड कर सकते हैं कि बारिश के पहले वाला सिनेरियो जो था, बांग्लादेश उड़ रही थी 7 ओवर तक, अचानक से बारिश के बाद मोमेंटम पूरी तरह से टूट गई, आप लोग कहेंगे जरूर। और सबसे ज्यादा, जैसा अमित जी ने बहुत सही तरीके से बताया कि केएल राहुल का वो बहुत ही उम्दा रन आउट, तो यहाँ पे अपने विचार जरा स्पष्ट कीजिए हमारे व्यूअर्स के लिए, दर्शकों के लिए।
विचार नहीं, एक ही डायलॉग मन में आ रहा था शाहरुख खान की मूवी का, हार के जीतने वाले को बाजीगर कहते हैं।
और आज उनका बर्थडे भी है।
गई थी कहीं ना कहीं। अगर आप
आज
शाहरुख खान का बर्थडे भी है।
चार्ट देखें, डकवर्थ लुईस के चार्ट के हिसाब से टीम इंडिया काफी पिछड़ रही थी और जो टारगेट को 49 रन का करना था वो बांग्लादेश ने अचीव कर लिया था। तो कहीं ना कहीं जो टीम इंडिया है वो हार चुकी थी। लेकिन जब सेकंड पारी में जब टीम की जो बारिश के बाद इनिंग शुरू हुई, वहाँ टीम इंडिया ने जिस तरीके से प्रदर्शन किया, वाकई काबिले तारीफ था। तो एक संजीवनी कहेंगे कि लिटन दास का रनआउट वो टीम इंडिया के लिए मिला।
मुझे भी यही कहना है Damini, before we head off, I will say this was, as I said, I mean, India came out of jail. The first part of that Duckworth Lewis 49 is what Bangladesh needed. They had it by 17 runs. But this is what the difference between a good side and an average side. Bangladesh could not take pressure. If they were able to do it, this was their game to lose and they lost it. India just kept it cool. Rohit captained well. Rahul that ran out. Surya Kumar Yadav, those 2 catches were very good. All said and done, It was a good win for India. Thankfully so, because otherwise this crowd would have gone absolutely mad.
Bodia,
I
Bodia,
would take your leave because both of us need to head out. It's 11 p.m. We need to head out. And
Bodia, while you're there,
Absolutely.
Bodia,
He's
Bodia,
done.
while
Yeah.
you're there, Bodia, while you're there, absolute.
He's gone. He's
Okay.
gone.
Boriada has a lot to do, perhaps, it's
So
quite
do we.
late there in Australia. Yeah, absolutely. So, Joyada, I'll come to you. First of all, Joyada, please tell us, where do you think Bangladesh lost it completely? Is it in that part two scenario when the rain break happened and the Bangladesh again had to come, or was it because of that run out by KL Rahul? Where did Bangladesh lose it?
Bangladesh lost it because there was only one hero in the inning. There wasn't anybody playing a supporting role.
True.
If there was one more batter who supported Leighton, they would have won the game easily.
Yeah.
When somebody does something special, you just need to be with him, and none of them could be with him. So if I was Bangladesh, and I have a lot of time for Bangladesh, I have a lot of shout out because their country is smaller than some states of ours. So this is a 10-liter
Very true.
car fighting with a 2-liter car. So huge shout out for them. Okay, they are smaller than UP. They're smaller than MP. I was talking to Shoban in the pre-show. So
Yes, very true.
it's not a like for like contest like an India versus Australia as India versus England is. It's not a like for like contest. Yet they make it to the World Cup where teams like West Indies don't. Yet they go and put you on the ropes. Everybody was sweating. All the Indians, they knew this game was on the line. So huge shout out to them for the way they played. And this, I know they didn't get across the line, but no credit is too little for them today, because today it was Leighton. We've got 40 first class teams. They've got 7.
True. Very
So
true.
this just to put it in perspective, the choice that we have. It's. I know that I'm very happy we won and everything, but I think India got out of jail, like Boria said, and India should be. If you take a 10-liter car and a 2-liter car, then there should be no race here. But that's how good Bangladesh was. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's how good Leighton was. Today, if Leighton didn't play, India would have won this game by 35-40 runs. But that one inning brought it to a last ball. And if there was somebody who got a 15-ball 24-25, then Bangladesh would have won this game. Unfortunately for them, nobody could do it.
Exactly, very true. They did fight till the last ball, till it went down to the wire once again. Shubhan, before we get into the dissection of this game, what would you like to say about Team India until now, all the matches that they've played, each and every match, in Joyda's words, they have gotten out of jail, winning from the skin of their teeth. Somewhere Team India still needs to do a homework. Before you answer and update that the man of the match from this game is Virat Kohli, undoubtedly. He was phenomenal with his innings of a 44 ball, 64 not out. Shubhan.
See, I would say, 54 deliveries, 85 to win. I'll come to the second half of the Bangladeshi knock. I think that was very much achievable.
With 9 wickets
I
in
would
hand.
say, with 9 wickets in hand, that was very much achievable. I mean, if they had targeted the ones and twos, they were not going for the twos there. They were very happy with taking the one. So had they converted those ones into twos and focused more on rotating the strike rather than going blindly after the sixes and boundaries, then definitely I think things would have been different for Bangladesh. They did try well, but I think the lack of game applicability, I think that hit Bangladesh hard, because Shakib also came in. He tried to go big. Then came the later batsman. Nurul played so many dot balls, 4 or 6 dot balls in the start of his innings. Had he gotten with those twos and ones there, I think the winning margin, it would have gone extremely close. It was still
also,
extremely close.
You're absolutely right. Also, on that, you need the firepower, Shubhan. It's one thing saying that you should have done it, but we have Surya, we have Hardik.
Right.
Now, they don't have players of that caliber who can hit it out of the park. You put one Surya in this team and you see where they go. So it's often a case of, like you and I were discussing pre-show. I know Damini missed out that Shakib is a phenomenal 50-over player, test player, but in T20, he's not a 140 strike rate player. He's never been.
Right.
So
right,
suddenly
100%.
you go and expect him to win 140, it's not going to happen.
Right.
Okay. Okay, so Norman, the same question I posed to you, if you have heard the question, consistency is where Team India is maintaining here with regard to, every time coming out of jail.
Mhm.
Somewhere you feel, Team India yet to do, you need to, still do some homework maybe. Somewhere they need to get things right where they can convincingly win matches because, ultimately it's through the race of to the semi-finals.
Okay, my answer to you from what you just said is basically the key to India's success is their fielding. Their fielding was much
Okay.
better tonight, and I think they were much more improved in the games leading up to the
Okay.
semi-final and final. If they make it that far, the fielding has to stay at a very high level.
Okay.
Their fielding was particularly good tonight. It was pretty poor the previous night, and they were clinching reasons why India performed much better. Their batting's strong, bowling sound. Really, it comes down to their fielding. If they can field well, they'll win matches in the future.
Okay, absolutely. Now let's get into the details of this game. We'll begin first with India's batting right from the beginning. Joyda, please take us through Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli is back. He's now playing match-winning knocks just the way he used to, isn't he?
I'll have to start with somebody who came before Virat Kohli, KL Rahul. I think he was outstanding today.
Yes, I was about to come to him. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm starting with him because he came to bat before Virat Kohli, and today he was the reason. Today he was the reason why we won this game, because of also the run out, the direct throw. But
absolutely,
people always ask, why does KL Rahul get such a long rope? For this reason. It was a good toss for Bangladesh to win. The ball did a lot more in the first half than it did in the second half. I think if Arshdeep, Bhuvi, and Shami and Hardik would have bowled first up, it would have been really difficult because there was a lot of juice in the pitch, which it was jagging around. We saw how much Rohit was struggling. You don't see that too often. One is not getting runs. One is struggling to hit the ball. They're two different things. One is just, he was just struggling with the seam. KL was struggling with the seam. So to be able to come and play that knock, and I think it is because of that knock that also Virat could play a lot. Virat's knock had a lot to do with how well KL played.
Right.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
Virat just got his runs, KL got his runs. Otherwise, Virat would have to get KL's runs also.
Okay, so before I come to you, Shubha, Norman has something to tell us. Norman, please do share.
The Virat Kohli phenomena was on again tonight. As we were talking about, 82, 62, 12, and a further 63, I think it was. The man has been not out for most of his innings. He's the superlative of superlatives. I'm going to leave you now, but with this great crowd, you can see I've got a pair of police horses behind me that are telling them to move on. So, guys, enjoy the night. Onwards to Melbourne, Zimbabwe. Watch out, India are coming. Talk to you later.
Thank you, Norman. And do take care of yourself and enjoy the rest of the night as well for you too. Thank you so much for joining and sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you, Norman.
Bye-bye.
And bye. And with these thoughts, we'll continue the show. So, Shubhan, I'll come to you. Joyda gave us his thoughts. Please share with us how impressed were you with number one, Virat Kohli being Virat Kohli, the old Virat Kohli we are also used to seeing, and most importantly, KL Rahul finally getting back among the runs, being among the runs once again.
I mean, see, as I said before the show as well, I mean, KL Rahul, it was very important for him to get those runs under his belt, and that run out, the game-changing run out, perhaps would have given him a lot of confidence more than him getting runs today. That run out, it changed the match completely in favor of India, and that's magic moments. Yes, Joyda.
Joyda.
The innings also had the run out.
Yes, absolutely, 100%, 100%. The way he ran and
pick up the ball. He said, "Today's my day. Today I'm going to hit those stumps." That's how it works.
True.
Yes.
True.
Feeds off each other.
True, absolutely.
That was one outstanding piece of fielding.
Yeah, it's all relatable. I mean, you get runs, you get confidence. That shows you your on your fielding, how you are picking up the ball, how you are throwing it, how your mind is working, whether to throw it in the keeper's end, the non-striker's end. It's all connected, and I am delighted for KL Rahul, and I think this confidence will help India in the upcoming matches. They are almost through. They are not officially through now, but they still have to win that Zimbabwe game.
Yes.
But yes.
Yes.
After that, in the semis, I'm talking about the future. It will help India get those runs. But we will talk about in this match. We'll talk about KL Rahul, Virat Kohli. But that finish from Ravichandran Ashwin, the way he hit that 1-6 and 4-16 of 13 of 6, I think that also helped India get that
Of
momentum in
course.
the very last over.
And also,
A
it has not been an
superb support from him.
easy tournament for the
Hmm.
opening batters, because there's been a little
Yeah,
bit of juice in the pitch. David Warner,
yeah,
quiet. So it's not been an easy one. Generally in T20, openers make merry. It's not been the case over here, because
right.
the weather has been playing foul. When there's a weather threat, rain threat, pitch is under covers. When pitch is under covers, there's a lot of moisture because it doesn't get the sun that it requires. It's not
Right.
hard, it's not pelting.
Yes,
I'm in
yes.
Bangalore for the first T20 women's match here. It rained all night, and the covers were
Yeah.
taken at 7:15. 9:30 was the game, it was dragging around. I went for the
Mm.
quarterfinals yesterday, and the sun was out. It was a different pitch altogether. Same pitch, just because of the weather, how different did it play? Same pitch, same everything, same soil,
Absolutely.
same pitch, same everything.
Absolutely.
Just what the weather
Absolutely.
has in store. So that's the reason why KL's Rahul is also KL Rahul's innings is of such high repute and deserves praise, for the simple reason that today batting wasn't easy, and for
Right.
a man who's out of
Absolutely.
form, the whole country is trolling him, and then to come out and play that knock, Virat came in a little later. The conditions had improved slightly, but today we could
Hmm.
have easily been 7 for 2,
Very
and
true.
not
Yeah.
and to make sure that Surya doesn't come in when it's still jagging around. When Surya came,
Hmm.
it was gone. The juice was gone. So it was easy for him to get going.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. Gentlemen, now I need both of you to share your thoughts. Is one statement made by Bangladeshi skipper Shakib Al Hassan, which suddenly has everybody talking, raised a lot of eyebrows. A strong statement from him that he, before the match, before this clash against India, he had said that we are not here to win the World Cup. We are rather here to cause upsets. Thoughts, gentlemen? First, Joyda.
I thought it was a very candid one. I know Shaki. We spent a lot of time with him in KKR.
Yes,
He's very,
yes.
I know he's very fierce on the ground, but that's something he and Saurav Ganguly have a lot in common. That off the field they're very quiet, introvertish, down to earth people. Left to his own. So I think what he said is the truth.
hmm.
And sometimes the truth can be hard to
Okay.
hear. I mean, I can go and say that I want
Okay.
to walk to the moon, but I got to be realistic about what he says. He's been realistic
Right.
about his chances,
Right.
because
Okay.
more so in these conditions. Now, if this World Cup was in Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, India, on
Hmm.
wickets which help Bangladesh cricket, they are not used to playing on such bouncy tracks, spinner-oriented batting. They play well against spinners and medium pace. They don't play fast bowling and bounce well. So you go to Australia, you got to say the same thing.
True.
So
Okay.
sometimes, if somebody says the truth, we can say a lot of things just to be right, on air. But sometimes when he comes and says the truth, you got to just be in his shoes and just think for a moment. Does it make any sense? It makes a lot of sense to me. It really does. I think
Hmm.
none of us would be having them in our top four. I didn't have them in our top four. I'm sure you both didn't. So if he
Yep.
comes and says that we are not title
Okay.
contenders, what's wrong with that? Now we say, how can a captain talk like that? But he's also saying we'll cause upsets. We will beat the champion teams maybe,
Okay.
but we might not
Okay.
we don't have the bandwidth to be able to go and play consistently well in these conditions to win a tournament. Is what he
Yeah.
means, and I'm completely with him on this. A lot of honesty from Shakib.
Okay. Shubhan?
I second that completely. I mean, if he had said we are here to win the World Cup and we'll win it, then we can say he's gone mad. He's gone maniac completely. What is he? Is he doing some banter or not? But like if a Bangladesh can defeat an India or a Pakistan or a South Africa from this group, that's an upset. They have already derailed Zimbabwe's campaign. That last ball finished. Zimbabwe had they won the match, they are still in the contention, but their position would have been better in this group. So that was an upset for me because Zimbabwe were pushing hard for this in this semi-final race, but Bangladesh did cause an upset. They came close against India, but it's all about, as Joyda said, it's all about going big against the big teams, major teams, and pushing for pushing to play hard cricket, good hard cricket, which they did today. Unfortunately, Litton they didn't have much support today with the bat, but yes, they did come very close.
And Shakib did not say
Absolutely.
this in the
Okay.
Asia Cup
Yeah,
because
yeah,
he doesn't
because they
believe
knew,
this is true.
yep,
He
absolutely,
said it where
100%.
he feels it's true. Because in the Asia Cup, there is no Australia, no New Zealand, no South Africa. So he feels, he didn't say it then. He honestly
Yeah,
feels he can win the Asia Cup. They've played
yep,
a final.
yep.
But here, he feels with the conditions, with all the other teams coming in, a lot of honesty. I think, I'll doff my hat to him. It's not easy to come as a skipper and say,
And they came very close to win that Asia Cup as well. The final was a
true,
humdinger.
true, true, very true.
True. And situations are different because way back in 1983, when Team India were regarded in the level which Bangladesh are right now, Kapil Dev saying just two sentences, "We here to win," his famous words, and then everybody knows what happened. So times change,
That time it
situations
was,
change.
the
Yes,
format
yes, Jada.
that time was a little bit
Yes.
probably not easier for lack of a better word, but a little bit more
Hmm.
forgiving for you to make it.
Okay.
It's not over here,
Okay. Okay.
you know.
Okay. Okay.
And India had beaten some big teams consistently. India had beaten West Indies before that in the odd game, and they were in a rich vein of
Okay.
form. And also, we had the bowlers. We had Sandhu could swing it. We had Kapil Dev. We had
Yeah.
Binny. We had Madan Lal.
Yes.
So
Okay.
today,
Okay.
if Bangladesh had one half Surya, one half Hardik, one half Pant. They would Shakib wouldn't have said this. It's about knowing
Hmm.
what your artillery is, what is your army, and then say what it
Yeah.
is. And I have no problems with that because, as I said, they're a very, very small country. And the way they come and compete today, they had all of us sweating. Now we have what 10 times the size of their country, and they had everybody us hopping around. That itself is a win for me.
Okay. Okay, absolutely. So, one final question on India's bowling before we wrap up this session. Gentlemen, your thoughts about India's mindset. If you just set aside India's bowling performance, the mindset which Team India showed right after that rain break, before that, they were being completely, thrashed by Bangladesh. Primarily, of course, Leighton Das doing much of the damage for
Hmm.
against Team India. Then suddenly that rain break happens. A lot of discussion. Then Team India are a completely different team, and suddenly the bowling department looks so lit up. Team India. Please talk us through the mindset which they were going through. Joyda.
No,
Then
Shiban, go
Shubham.
first.
See, I'll say Arshdeep was phenomenal with the after the I am talking about the post the rain break. Arshdeep was phenomenal. I even mentioned his name in our pre-match show, and he delivered. He delivered. Even in the last over, you see, he gave a hard length, good length delivery. It was smoked for a six, and after that, he checked his line. He was bowling full. He was going for the Yorkers because he knew it was very tough to go straight and get a six of that line and length. So I think Arshdeep was brilliant. Mohammad Shami came in, delivered a good over after that break. So I think the mentality mindset was, see, Bangladesh don't have many power hitters. They don't have
Okay.
power hitters. Liton Das himself is a time player. He depends on timing. So if you don't give them hard length, it is very tough to go full, go big against the fuller
And
deliveries. You
also,
need power for that.
He got all his
Yeah.
runs in the power play.
Yes, yes, absolutely. With the field restrictions, and you breach the gap, you get the find the gap, it races to the boundary fence. But they don't have power play. The point I'm saying is it is very tough to hit sixes in full length Yorker length deliveries unless you play an outrageous scoop or something like that. It is very tough to hit
Okay.
long sixes in the full deliveries. And Mohammad Shami, Hardik Pandya, we saw against Taskin Ahmed, he bowled a couple of length deliveries and they were smoked for 6 and 4. So India were very clever when they saw that yes, this line is getting hit. They quickly changed. They were very quick to change those, correct those line and lengths, and get back to the normalcy. And I think that was a very thorough, professional outing by the entire bowling setup.
Okay. And finally, Joyda.
Yeah. So I think, just to answer your question,
Mhm.
uh, if Leighton had batted for another couple of overs, this could have been trouble. So I think
Yeah.
what the rain break did and all the discussion you saw with Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma with the umpires was about starting the game.
Mm.
How can we start the game? What is the weather report? It's not about what is going to happen in the middle, because I mean, what are the umpires going to say about that? They're here to conduct the game. So and I feel that just after the power play, once the power play was over, with 5 fielders outside the 30-yard circle, how Bangladesh batted would determine who'd win the game. Because Leighton was batting in a fashion, I thought, as well as he played, we were a little shoddy in bowling to him. He was at one time, he had I think 57 and his partner had 3.
Yes.
Now, as good as he can be in the power play, as good as he was in the power play, I mean, that is a huge power play for one batter.
Right.
So
And Joyda, I'll give you a very interesting.
Yes.
I'll give you a very interesting stat here. Liton Das became the first player to score a T20I 50 at the same moment the team total reached half century. He got it with a 648. They were 48 and he got
What
it with a 6.
What a coincidence.
But for the rain break, there was 2 things. One is that there was, I think at the rain break, India were really perspiring because they knew they were 17 runs ahead, not 1 or 2. What 17 ahead, what it means is that when you come back, the target becomes that much easier. So when you come back with no loss, if they were for 2 down, late on there but 2 down, then the target becomes higher because 2 wickets have fallen. But with no loss, it was an easy target. Right. But they also knew that they had to get Leighton out. And if this was any other team, if there was Australia or South Africa, knowing that, okay, who's coming? There's Tim David coming and Glenn Maxwell coming. They knew they had to get past Leighton. And that's the reason why they were rejoicing after getting Leighton, because they knew this is the only guy today he can take the game away from us.
Yes.
And once he got out, they knew they had a chance. They could have still lost. Cricket game. But the chances became... Right. But, Leighton, the way he played, I don't think India is hitting full straps yet. India is not playing at 95%. Yep. And if you want to win the tournament, you got to play at 90-95%. Right. India is not. Right. Our batting is still not as good as it can be today. Our bowling wasn't. Our fielding was super today. I agree. Yeah. But our bowling also could have been better. In the power play, people will come. David Warner will come hammer and tongs. Quinton de Kock will come hammer and tongs. So will Josh Butler. You just can't say, oh, these guys are too good, but you guys got to be better as well. That's the way it is. So I think as a unit, batting and bowling wise, we need to get better, and that can happen. Sometimes you hit form in this time business end, and then you go to the semis in form, final form, you win it and go. That's happened. That can happen. But for me, I don't think wholeheartedly we are playing well. I thought even in this game we were 20 runs short. Dinesh Karthik hasn't fired. Rohit Sharma hasn't fired. Hardik didn't fire today.
Yes.
So these are names that will matter. Absolutely. Because you can't go to KL today. Always you can't go to Virat and Sky. That's too much pressure on 2 people. You're asking 2 people, please get 70 every game at a strike rate of 150. Thank you very much. It's easier said than done. It doesn't work like that. 70 to get 70 with a 150 strike rate is a massive amount of risk involved.
True.
So with the risk comes the the lack of consistency, because you're asking somebody to do something which is not easy. So that person will fail. That's the reason why you have other people around them. Today, what Leighton did, if somebody could have just played around it, they would have won this game. And that's the talk in the dressing room right now. I've been in these dressing rooms for state, for IPL teams, where in the dressing room now they're still sitting there. And Shakib is saying, guys, we had that. One guy was so special, none of us could hold a candle to him. If one of us held a candle to him for about 5 overs, we would have won this game. So next time we come to an opportunity like this, just make sure one of us stand up and just hold his hand. Because he's taken us somewhere where, defeating India in a T20 World Cup, I mean, that's what dreams are made of. We still talk about 2007 when Bangladesh pipped India out of the World Cup.
Yes,
today, it's not often one person will give you a chance to win a game. Today, it was Leighton's day. And my man of the match is actually KL Rahul, because he got that run out. I know. I mean, it's a 10-run difference. But for me, the way he batted in difficult conditions and the run out, Virat Kohli doesn't have space in his house to keep man of the matches. So Virat Kohli is one of the greatest that has ever played the game. So let's not talk about today. KL Rahul had a huge impact on the game. Right. Sometimes because Virat gets done, we get too much. But Virat is Virat. We know that. But today, KL Rahul, as important is knock. and it's not.
Okay. Absolutely. And as it was India who had the last laugh, and they bagged those two crucial points to ensure they're just one step still remaining to, seal a semi-final spot. And with this, we come to the end of the post-match show between India and Bangladesh. Two teams fighting till the end, but ultimately it's Team India who win it. And ladies and gentlemen, you were hearing my panelists Jaideep Mukherjee and Shubhan Chakravarti with their insights. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining and sharing your thoughts with us as always. And mark the date, we meet again for India's final group stage match on the 6th of November against Zimbabwe, which will ensure, if India manage that win, that they sail through to the semi-finals. And to all our viewers, do not forget to subscribe to our channel on YouTube and to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and all our social media handles. We will be giving you live updates. Thank you so much for joining. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy other games around the world, and it's good night from India.